Hello and welcome to Supreme Commander Forged Alliance. We got another ranked game here between NubFriedRice and Tiptushi. So NubFriedRice is known for his spiders. That's what he usually rushes with cybran. But here he goes land, 2 pigeons and 2 mask structures with ACU. Of course here a big chunk of mass with that wreck, Tech 1 transport. And Tiptushi here, surprisingly not Aeon. Playing his first land, 2 pigeons, and an engineer coming out now. And of course on this map, lots of different areas to fight. They're really separated by these cliffs. Of course a little wrecks in the middle, actually wrecks throughout this map. We're seeing engineers, the first 2 NGs for Noob. It looks like he is going to go after that wreck. And I got this replay from Tiptushi, big thanks. And be nice if people get good replays. They can always message me on FAF. Always looking for good ones. It's hard to find which ones are good just in the vault, so if you think people should see it, let me know. And of course send it to Guile as well. He's been working on replays. And most likely most people have already heard about this new Supcom channel. If you haven't, definitely check it out. And let's see here, a bunch of land spam from NubFriedRice, no air yet, and it looks like 3rd air now coming out for Tiptushi. ACU going to the Hydro, gonna pick that up. And very similar, an engineer and a Hydro. Looks like Noob just a little faster on the Hydro, leaving the ACU to complete. The engineer goes out, gets a little Rex and a mass extractor. So far, this will be the first fighting here. We got a tank taking on a hunter, and it looks like this wall really saved that hunter. Now it looks like it's stuck on some of these areas, really tight areas. The light assault bots tend to get stuck. A really nice micro there from NubFriedRice, saving his hunters, but they got run away, don't have radar. Of course this tank has radar, and it just might sneak up on these. Playing very safe, now the hunters run away. I'll slow this down, should be a lot of action. Looks like Noob got all the wrecks in the middle. Really valuable engineer there. A tank going in the middle as well, and looks like these hunters, after surviving that first encounter, are going to go around the outside. Looks like they already got some kills. Most likely a dead engineer there, so not sure who killed it, I missed it. And a massive force here, 4 Manta and a scout coming out. Tiptushi's ACU picking up mass extractors on the smaller mountain, and the ACU for NubFriedRice all the way on the outside. So we're seeing multiple fronts here. We do see a bomber now coming out for Tiptushi. That'll be interesting. But an exposed Hydra here for Manta should be able to take care of the problem, plus a radar and a mass extractor. So great stuff. Here comes the bomber from Tiptushi. See a couple of targets here will be these engineers working on this factory. And here on the bottom, tanks versus Manta, and it looks like Manta should be able to win. So far, NubFriedRice having quite a bit more success, and it looks like the ACU for Tiptushi is going to establish a point defense here to protect. An engineer for NubFriedRice is going to run into some problems. And big loss, the Hydra is destroyed by the 4 Manta. We see some tanks coming out to defend, and it looks like it'll be 4 tanks versus 4 Manta. The Manta should retreat. And on the bottom here, a single tank trying to protect an engineer, but it'll be in vain. The Manta just run that over. Victories for NubFriedRice all over the place. And this bomber with 3 kills. Looks like it did take out those 2 engineers, but another engineer picks up the workload for NubFriedRice. And now this is big trouble for Tiptushi. The ACU for NubFriedRice coming around the outside. It's going to put a lot of pressure. We see a lot of support. We see a lot of Manta here. Of course, one problem is that absolutely no air for. Finally see the 5th factory is going to be an air factory for NubFriedRice, and the ACU for Tiptushi going into FriedRice's base. FriedRice going into Tiptushi's base. We just might see a base switch, so I can see why Tiptushi thought this is a great replay, and I definitely agree. The middle, for the most part, belongs to Tiptushi, but the outside here for NubFriedRice, nobody has the bottom. And now you can see these Manta are going to go to work, and NubFriedRice, you can see he's a very good player, targeting the power generators. Great stuff in the ACU also in here. So the question, usually when you have base switches, the key is to get a base somewhere out there where you can get factories and power generators. You want build capacity and power. As soon as you lose those, you lose the game. And here we got a pretty tough battle. Looks like Tiptushi will be able to hold on. And of course, Tiptushi here has exactly that in the middle. He's got 2 engineers working on power. He's got tanks to secure this area. And this will most likely be the key to the game. Of course, it's not clear that NubFriedRice is happy with the situation. You can see Tiptushi here capturing. Yeah, he's capturing instead of reclaiming. Capturing is a little slower, and capturing is dependent on how much power you have. So if Tiptushi here, negative power, he's making a big mistake trying to capture. You can see it cancelled. You never want to capture with negative power. You can see an engineer now for Tiptushi. The ball is going to pick up a couple mass extractors. And it looks like some trouble here for Tiptushi. Big loss, dead engineers. This engine needs to start making power. And Tiptushi walking around is going to take out that hydro. We gotta admit that not too much damage against NubFriedRice's base. He stopped all production, which is strange given that this ACU walked away. Tiptushi now looking to capture, but he still can't capture because he has no power. Great work with these Manti. The only power generator for Tiptushi is this one. That's all he's got, plus the ACU, so total of plus 40 power. He's got to get on that as soon as he can. And of course, plenty of power now for Tiptushi, or for NubFriedRice, but of course these tanks are now targeting these factories instead of targeting that power generator. Tiptushi's still trying to capture. He's got to figure out that he can't do that. Just reclaim it. Just don't give NubFriedRice the power. Looks like NubFriedRice is going to make the power generators with his ACU. And now finally he figures it out. He's going to reclaim. And this power generator, very, very important for NubFriedRice. He's got a, looks like he defended it and restarted the production here. So this base is still working. This base can't work because no power for Tiptushi. NubFriedRice gets a couple more power generators next to some point defense. And he's going to walk back and try to take out the base. So very surprising these players didn't choose to just go inside this middle base and build a point defense and then just wipe out all these factories. Either commander could have done that. But now we have some strangeness here coming up on minute 10. Either player or both players right now have big power problems. See plus 50 for Tiptushi. NubFriedRice plus 120. Somehow plus 100. And that's just a couple of PGens spread out all over the place. This ACU's got to do something. And looks like Tiptushi picked up that Hydra after reclaiming it. And I got a power storage. That's going to be huge for Tiptushi. And now with this base, absolutely no point defense opportunities here for NubFriedRice. This ACU should be able to take care of all these factories. Of course, NubFriedRice is in Tiptushi's base. This is a very, very slow base switch. It basically took these players about 5 minutes to figure out that they're going to do a base switch and take care of the problems. And now with power, you can see Tiptushi capturing actually works. But it's totally dependent on you having excess power. It looks like it is slowing down, so it's must be some problems for Tiptushi once again. He is having problems. Of course, this is not going to be completely stalled like it was when he had no power. Now, in terms of land units, a big advantage for NubFriedRice. He still has a pretty massive force, but point defense is all over the place for Tiptushi. A big mistake for NubFriedRice. He's got to avoid that. Of course, his point defense is in multiple positions. Very good point defense here, protecting the hydro and the power storage for Tiptushi, and also some cybran units for Tiptushi. Looks like a capture for NubFriedRice as well. Well, nope, no captures. He's just going to leave these factories there on pause, except this air factory. And an engineer comes out, is going to pick up some mass extractors. Of course, as soon as that ACU leaves, these can restart and take back the base. NubFriedRice really living off these 2 power generators, pulling back his forces. And now we do see bombers in the air for Tiptushi taking care of any different problems. Of course, if you have air in the situation, you can actually see the whole map. NubFriedRice is playing a little blind, trying to get another factory going. Very surprising that he took the AC away from this base. We should see Tiptushi restart these and take this area back. Looks like this is going to belong to NubFriedRice. And Tiptushi is once again back. He's going to destroy these factories, which are not producing anything. So NubFriedRice has got to really get a base somewhere. Very good game so far. Some more raiding with the Manti. NubFriedRice is going to try to replicate, so it looks like he learned from Tiptushi. A very good situation here, point defense, protecting the Hydra. He's going to do the same thing. Going to get an engineer to do that. This is ridiculous. A factory from NubFriedRice next to an air factory, and this air factory is actually producing planes. Some flag here for NubFriedRice should take care of the problem. And now this raiding force from NubFriedRice taking back a lot of the map. Total control here, and a very nice Mantis is going to take care of mask extractor and the engineer. With this much health though, a Mantis could be killed by an engineer if he comes in and reclaims it. Perhaps some raiding here once again from NubFriedRice, but yet another point defense. The point defense has been very, very crucial in this one. No more NubFriedRice units at his starting position. And finally a point defense, an anti-air turret. This is great to put an anti-air turret right next to an air factory of your enemy. But these engineers got to take care of this, either capture or reclaim. NubFriedRice got the point defense, the Hydra, and it's going to make some more factories. These bombers got quite a few kills, 6 among those two. And let's see where we're going to see the new fronts. This engineer actually survived by staying hidden. Mantis with 2 kills, going to look for more opportunities, but completely unprotected against these bombers. There it goes. So this is a very big stronghold for Tiptushi. If NubFriedRice got a couple arty here, but there's also tanks. We're seeing both Manta and strikers now for Tiptushi. It's something you'd never see in Supreme Commander 2, where you can't capture, which is just ridiculous. You could capture in TA, and that was like one of the funnest things to do. And I guess 2010 is not as good as 97. Of course, Supreme Commander Forever still has this. It's somewhat of an attack now from Tiptushi. Both Cybran and UEF moving in. Some exposed factories. And now NubFriedRice pulling back some units, and I see Tiptushi retreating. Playing with his ACU, 18 kills for NubFriedRice. Excellent place to retreat to for Tiptushi, the point defense. And if these Manta are not going to follow, so we got a front here. And now some raids by Tiptushi with some Manta. Absolutely undefended except the point defense here at the choke point. But a lot of dead units and a lot of mask extractors. And once again, the Mantis takes care of a couple of mask extractors, and this engineer is still hidden for Tiptushi. The top is completely dead. Nobody wants any part of that. NubFriedRice still making more land factories. Tiptushi now rebuilding an air factory. Got a really nice power situation. And where is the ACU? The ACU is getting an upgrade. It appears it already has Tech 2. 30 kills, and if it gets the gun, it's going to be an extremely powerful weapon. We do see some now artillery for NubFriedRice trying to take out this point defense, but good defense by these Manti, and this point defense is not destroyed. And now these Manti really got to stay out of range. 5 kills for the point defense. Definitely don't want to attack here given this ACU. You want to attack over here if you're NubFriedRice. Looks like a bit of a force here through the top. Needs to get some artillery as well. These point defenses. If you can take out these point defenses, it'll be a huge loss for Tiptushi. Really, all of his power is concentrated in this area. Tiptushi now's got the gun and Tech 2, and he's gonna go. Minute 18 here. NubFriedRice looks like no upgrades. Also working on his power. Finally, Tiptushi's units have been destroyed, but nice raiding with these Manti from Tiptushi. The bottom completely belongs to Tiptushi. And now this ACU is going to get a lot of kills. So much health, 1600 health, about to get a little more with 40, 1800 health. Nearly doubling NubFriedRice ACU. NubFriedRice trying to get it upgrade, perhaps the gun. And here once again these point defense is doing a great job. I need some arty. And cybran notoriously bad at taking out point defenses. Here we're seeing the Manti trying to help out the ACU. And here this is the most powerful unit on the field by far. Looks like Tiptushi just cancelled. 45 kills. Plenty of support and a great place to retreat to. Tiptushi playing very well now, 45 kills. And now bombers coming in. Just getting slaughtered by those stationary anti-air. Tiptushi racking up quite a bit of veterancy. Looks like NubFriedRice is kind of going all in now, 60 kills for Tiptushi. This is really difficult to trap an ACU like this. There's no overcharge from NubFriedRice. This should be close to the end. It's really a lone warrior taking on the entire force from NubFriedRice. Now I see 12,000 health, NubFriedRice at 6,000. About half, some overcharges. 63 kills. 9,000 health, and now retreating back to the point defense. Point defense is targeted by the arty. And now there goes the arty. 19 kills for NubFriedRice. Tiptushi retreats, then stops. 67 kills. NubFriedRice perhaps thinking of a draw, but a pretty nice assault. And the bombers coming in, wiping out a whole bunch of units. Those are excellent bombers there from Tiptushi. Minute 20. Of course they run into this anti-air. They shouldn't get too many passes. New with 23 kills, 3,000 health, nearly 10,000 for Tiptushi, 77, and it looks like it should be game over. So Tiptushi got the better of this base switch, got a lot of power, and really these point defenses here are the MVPs. And with that superior power, Tiptushi got 2 upgrades, tech to engineering and the gun, and really used his ACU to rack up 80 kills. Killed most of NubFriedRice's forces with his ACU and the ACU as well. So 21-minute, extremely good game. That was very good. Hopefully people send me some more replays just like this one.